Hello, everybody. This is James. Welcome to the Storage Scavenger. Move my microphone over here.
Hi, Marie. Are you still here with us?
Hello, hello.
Can you hear us?
And we are live. All right. So we're going to give people a few minutes to come in. Um,
Supposedly Grimes is already down.
hello. Yeah, I know. I was there.
Oh, you were there, huh?
Yes. I got up and left right whenever his thing finished.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I was getting my refill real quick. And
Yeah, probably people are getting ready for dinner and stuff like that.
no, a lot of people already have had some. Hi, Douglas. Thank you for joining us today. And
Oh, hi,
Marie,
Doug.
thank y'all for coming. Um, hello, Denise,
Oh, Denise.
Vulture, Vulture Dumpster Diver. Hello, thank you for joining us today. So, um, things have been kind of crazy around here, like everywhere else in the world. Luckily, our lives, personal stuff, kind of got back to normal right before all this hit.
Yeah, can you believe all this pandemic stuff that's going around right now? Everyone's freaking out. Oh, you're painting the house. That's a good thing to do. I should give him some honeydews to do stuff around the house, like maybe the flooring and
Um,
no, you don't want to do flooring.
No, I'm not gonna do the. I
Maybe I'll
can't do
just
all that
hi
stuff when y'all
Betty.
all here. I don't have any place to put all the stuff right now
Shh, the
that
front
has to
yard. It
move.
only takes him a couple of hours. Just put it out in the front yard. He has no problem as long as it's not raining that day. What do y'all think?
It's supposed to rain today and tomorrow. The only 2 days this week that are not supposed to rain.
Hi, boatman. Right. Well,
Hi,
supposed to
Betty.
be. Supposed to be. You never know. We're in Texas, so Texas weather is just crazy weather. That's all there is to it. Kind of like crazy pandemic, you
Yep.
know. Um.
So life's been crazy for everybody. If y'all didn't see it, we just dropped another video a couple hours ago, showing some of the stuff that we've been finding. We're going through all the stuff that we bought a couple months ago that we still hadn't sorted out yet because that was all going. We got all that stuff right after Jessica got out of the hospital, and things kind of got really crazy shortly after. So
Yeah, it seems like I was hearing about the COVID-19 in the hospital, and I knew it was pretty serious, but I didn't think it was going to go as
yeah,
far as it did.
well, it just started while you were in the hospital. So
I just remember it started in China. That's all I remember, and that's saying something considering I was all drugged up over there. But we want to know. So, how are y'all dealing with this pandemic that's going around with COVID-19? Or are y'all keeping healthy? Um, what are y'all doing to stay busy? Yes, Maria was.
you got to remember, there's about a 30 to 45-second lag between when we say something and they get it and it gets back to us.
Right.
So
We've been doing pretty good. Emily went into the hospital shortly after I went into the hospital. She was running a fever last week. It wasn't COVID-19. Um oh,
oh no,
Denise.
Denise, that sucks.
Yeah, a mild case of the
But at
flu.
least it's the flu and not COVID because
Well,
there's a
COVID's a
lot of
part.
people who think the COVID looks like the flu
Yeah,
at first. So
right. Well, they say part of COVID is part of of a type of flu, so I'm glad it isn't. Hi, Harry.
hey, Harry Humstone, thanks for joining us today.
Well, I hope you start feeling better, Denise. I really do. We had a sick child last week, so
Yeah,
James didn't get to come
Emily.
on.
Emily is our. For those of y'all that are new here, Emily is our daughter. She's special needs. She was born with a brain malformation. Um, and so she has high care needs already. She's
Yeah.
extremely susceptible to being sick. So she came down with a fever, and we got her into the doctor the next day just to make sure everything was okay. Because, you know, something like a normal cold can sometimes put her in the ICU. So um, we have to be very careful with her. We haven't had anybody in the house except for her nurses Um,
Yeah.
all of her therapies and everything is being done via teleconference, and her school is being done via teleconference with her teacher. And
That was an
so we
interesting.
have her private nurses that come into the house, and they're the only ones. And one of our nurses hasn't been here for 2 weeks. She's supposed to come back to work tomorrow, but she's been gone for 2 weeks because
Her
precaution.
sister-in-law
Her
had upper
sister-in-law did
respiratory.
had a upper respiratory infection. She didn't even have COVID, but they wanted to be overly cautious, so they took her off of work for 2 weeks, just so that she wouldn't bring anything into our house.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Marie, about your kids. I mean, we have nurses that are also essential workers too, and I'm sorry to hear about Justin. But hey, if he's taking a vacation unwanted, even if it was unwanted, maybe you can get him to do some stuff around the house. And
And
Douglas, I'm glad that it's just allergies.
and what I'm saying is what I've started doing, and what because I kind of
He has bad
I
allergies.
kind of backed off for a little bit. Well, of course, I was already backed off because of everything going on with Jessica and Emily, and so whenever all this started breaking out, I kind of put pause on everything for a minute and just watched to see what the market was going to do. Because I have to be overly cautious because I was like I can't waste a whole lot of time listing and doing a lot of stuff if it's not going to sell. But right now, from what I'm hearing from the other eBay sellers and the other people, right now is a really great
Hi,
time
Harry.
to list. So that's what I've been doing. I've been working through some stuff. Went to stores today. In fact, that was part of the video I shared today. I've been sorting stuff out. I got a bunch of stuff that I'm gonna list myself, and I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm putting together because I still hate listing clothes. And guess what? That's some of the stuff that people need. One of the things that I'm looking at though is things like collectibles, your figurines, cutesy stuff. Some of that stuff is selling, but it's selling for a whole lot cheaper than
Stuff like
normal.
this. Look at this beautiful angel that
Yeah.
he's got here.
Well, I've got a whole collection of
Beautiful.
angels
Yeah,
like that
she's
one.
really cute.
I got a whole bunch of them over here. Um, but that kind of stuff, some of it's selling, but it's going for a lot lower prices than what it normally does. I would hold on to that kind of stuff for right now and just hold off. Look at needs versus wants. When you're looking at what to list, look at stuff that people need for survival before you list stuff that people are just wants. Because there's people that are not there's still people that are not making intelligent decisions and they're blowing money, and then they're going to be broke and complaining because somebody didn't bail them out.
Hi,
But
Justin.
overall, most people I think that I've talked to anyway are being very conservative in how they spend right now. But there is a lot of that spending that's being done online because there's no stores to go to because they're closed.
Well, and then
So
you've
things
got.
like clothes are going really great right now. If you're on Poshmark, everybody I know that's on Poshmark is doing really, really well right now because people can't go to the store to buy clothes, so they're going online to buy them.
Yeah, but some of them are going to the supermarkets, and that's their outing, unfortunately. So that's where we have a little bit of the problems that are going on. They're taking their whole family.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
because
one
they have
thing
nowhere else to go.
because of our situation with Emily and everything, one thing I have done personally, and I don't necessarily recommend this for everybody, but especially if you're in a high risk situation like we are, I don't have anything right now on Facebook Marketplace. Anything that I have to hand deliver where I have to actually meet face to face with a stranger that I don't know if they're sick or not, I've canceled anything like that.
Chicken fried
Everything that
steak,
I've
Marie.
got is online. It's going to go in a package and I can ship it. Otherwise, I'm not selling it right now. And that's just a personal preference because with Emily, I can't take any risks. I mean, I'm not even going anywhere unless I absolutely have to right now. I
Yeah,
went to the
even
storage
Emily's
today,
doctor's appointments are
but
virtual too.
we're doing Emily's doctor's appointments via teleconference. We're doing everything, over the phone. When we do order groceries, we go online, order it through their app, and go to the store and pick it up.
But
But
today, for the
right now,
first time,
yeah,
you
right.
cannot get online at HEB for curbside to go. All of the slots are filled up.
Yeah, HEB, which is our local grocery store, all of their online service is
Everybody around
completely,
here are filled up.
completely stacked right now. So they only have so
Yeah,
many days out that they allow you to schedule. And
they're already
last
past
week it
that.
was waiting over a week, but now it's you can't even get on the schedule.
Yeah,
You have to be sitting there waiting when a spot
and
opens
I
up.
went through what 5 different cities that are close by to us that are only 30 minutes away from us, 20, 25 minutes away from us, and all of them booked up. Every last single one of them.
You're all out around to it. Yep. I know what that's like, Justin.
No, he didn't. He only done one to its, but it was a major one. It took up a lot of
Hey,
time.
if you saw my video today, you know what I did. I bug bombed this house, and I'm still washing dishes. I'm still cleaning stuff up around the house, still doing laundry, still cleaning all of my stuff that I'm trying to sell. Because I'm not going to sell something that's covered in that bug poison. So I'm having to clean everything I'm selling. I'm cleaning it before it goes out. Everything in my house, I've got to clean it before we use it. We went through all the kids stuff, all the personal stuff, all the daily use stuff first. Now we're just working through all the other stuff. And you never know how much stuff you have in your house until you try to clean every bit of it.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you want me to get you a mask? I've got a mask that's coming in. My son has a mask that's coming in. I think I want to get my daughter a mask because I think they're
She
saying
doesn't
for y'all to
go
wear
anywhere, so
masks.
she
Well,
doesn't need
yeah,
one.
but you never
She's
know
not
when
leaving
she
the
or will.
house unless
He's
unless
like,
she's
no.
going to the emergency room. She's not leaving this
Well,
house.
she might still need one for
Period.
emergency room. I mean, she's been known to take us off guard, and she's been in the emergency room, so she may need one.
So, hi, Chris, old
Hi,
school
Chris.
picker. How you doing today? I haven't seen you in a while
Oh,
because I
that's a
haven't
cool
been
one.
around that much. Um, we are working on getting our schedule back on track. So I'm getting back into doing more videos. I'm getting back into being on more lives and other people's chats and stuff as well.
And I'm doing much better, aren't I?
I'm not going to get back to where I was. One of the things that I realized is I was spending way too much time on YouTube. And, I love everybody's channels, but there's just so many great channels that I'm, watching. I can't watch everybody's videos every day. I can't spend 7, 8 hours a day on YouTube watching videos and going to everybody's lives and doing all that stuff. So, I got a lot of work to do myself. So I'm trying to find that balance between, working and doing YouTube and doing some other stuff just to get away from it all. And, trying to find a balance between all of it. And I'm
What
not
did
very
one
good at
rock say to
balancing
the other rock?
everything.
Douglas, I
Too
have
hard.
no idea. What did he say to the other rock? Stay right where you're at? Oh no. I don't know. Put one rock in front of the other. I don't know. Uh anyways, it's been you can watch for who? Oh, is that for you,
I
James?
think because I said I can't really go to everybody's channel every day.
Yeah,
And
he was spending a lot of time. He's been
I
getting
mean,
kind of griped out by me a little
I
bit,
was
being like,
spending
"Hey,
hours and hours a day on YouTube going to and I still wasn't hitting all the videos and all the
yeah,
chats and all the everything. And there's a lot of times where I got like 2 or 3 people I want to watch and they're all on at the same time, especially with the live
but I am
streams.
starting to recognize some of their voices. I'm like, hey, is that so
You
and
know,
so?
that
Hey, is that so and so?"
and I've got storage auction channels that I watch a lot of, and I got a whole that's a kind of its own little niche of its own. And then I've got the reseller channels that I watch and that I listen to. And a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of great channels, but I just don't have time for everybody's. If I do all that, I spend all day every day doing YouTube and I don't get any work done.
Yeah, and the other day, I saw somebody in when we were out and about, and they were wearing gloves. And the only thing that I thought about the gloves, and I think it's great that people wear gloves. I'm not one of them that's going to wear gloves because, for one, by the time you pick up the gloves, you've already cross contaminated.
Yeah, that's
It's
one of the
useless to
things.
be wearing the gloves.
Well, it's not
Um,
necessarily useless, but pretty much you have to change your gloves as often as you should be washing your hands anyway. They're really not doing you very much good if you're washing your hands. And if you can get some, use a little hand sanitizer.
yeah.
But if not, just washing your hands regularly is doing you as much good or more as wearing those gloves. Because the second you touch anything with those gloves, they're contaminated,
The second
and
you
it
touch
doesn't.
your
You know,
phone,
and say you grab a. I mean,
you're touching items from items going
you
from one
touch
end.
you touch
You've already
that
cross
grocery
contaminated.
cart. As soon as you touch that grocery cart, anything that's on there is on those gloves. So you touch any of your personal stuff
But
right
people are
after that.
wiping down their grocery carts, but that isn't where
Some,
it's getting
but
cross
I went to the
contaminated.
store the other day. Okay, I went to Walmart the other day without you because you were here with Emily,
Right. We decided only one person
and
should
I
go.
went into Walmart and they were out of wipes for the carts.
Well, people are taking their own hand sanitizing wipes and wiping it down,
Some
or making their
I
own hand
didn't have, but
sanitizing.
I'm saying I didn't have any with me at the time. They were all at the house with you. And
Hi,
hi,
Lisa.
Lisa.
We didn't plan that.
It
Just so
just
you
popped
know,
up.
if it just popped up, we saw you.
Um, but I try to wipe down the carts and stuff. But this one time I went, I didn't happen to have any wipes on me, and the store was out, so I didn't have any wipes. But the point is that there's a lot of people grab that cart and then they grab the wipes and wipe the cart down. Guess what? Just touch. You grab that cart before you grab that wipes. Your gloves, your hands, whatever is already contaminated.
And somebody
So if
said,
there's
"Well,
anything on there, you've already got it.
I'll just bring another extra pair of gloves." But what they don't realize is that they bring the extra pair of gloves. By the time they've gotten back to their car and loaded up their groceries, well, what are you touching? You're touching the hood to bring it on the car of unless you got that little clicker but some people's don't work. You've already cross contaminated even before you even left. So basically, we're just saying I would just wash my hands,
Just wash
and
your
then who
hands,
knows if you have to
guys.
go to the bathroom.
Just wash your hands.
Now, the one things I am doing is I'm kind of like getting the soap from the soap dispenser,
And
and I'm
we,
wiping the toilet before I go use the restroom. I do that. Um,
yeah, some of the stores are doing that. Not all of them, Lisa.
they are trying to. They're trying to keep it, but it's
I
kind of
know,
hard down here. I mean, you
like
can't even find wet
our
wipes.
grocery store is trying to do that, but like, I mean, I see people that are still. They don't even wait till they get to the building where they're wiping them down. They're grabbing carts out of the cart rack in the parking lot and taking those carts. Those haven't been wiped down yet.
I mean, it's bad. We still can't find toilet paper over here. We're in our small little town. We have to
Yeah,
go other places.
it's
To find
funny.
our
We
toilet
ran out
paper.
of toilet paper later, but the part of the problem is we're in a small town, so we really don't have a problem locally. But where the problem came from is we're right in between San Antonio and Austin. So because we got those two big cities, and both of those cities have a lot of cases and a lot of panic and a lot of craziness going on, people are leaving those towns and coming to our town and all the other towns around us, but they're coming to our little town and coming to our store and raiding all of our stuff now because they can't find stuff in their own stores.
Right. And now we have what I don't know. Hey, y'all need to answer me this. Do y'all have restaurants that are selling in bulk? Because there's a couple of restaurants here in Lockhart that are selling in bulk. Like they're trying to get in the sanitizer, the wet wipes, the eggs that we can't find on the shelves. The rice. I think that people are having problems buying rice and noodles. I'm just wondering, are some of the restaurants doing the same for y'all? Let us know. I didn't know if y'all have heard anything about that, but it's happening over here.
Yep. So I mean, it's still a lot of craziness going on, and this is, guys, this is not going to be cleared up in a couple of weeks. Even once the virus calms down, it's going to take a while for the country to get back to a sense of normalcy. It's going to take months to get over
Well,
this
just imagine they're
and
saying
start
what
moving forward.
June, July
June,
that
July,
it should
August,
be.
then September, October, you're starting to get into flu season, cold season again. Guess what?
And
There's
guess
going to be
what?
another
COVID's gonna
virus.
come right back up. It's not
Well,
another
maybe even
virus.
not necessarily
COVID may be
COVID,
coming back up.
but it may not, or it may be another one. I mean,
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea. They're giving toilet paper away with takeout orders. I guess we need to.
they're not doing that here.
Yeah, I wish they would do that here, but
They
they're
got
not.
people in the restrooms guarding the toilet paper to make sure people don't steal
Oh
them here.
yeah, who was it? My son said that he was at the park and they just took the toilet paper right out of the park.
I went to HEB the other day. I had to stop in the bathroom, and they actually had somebody standing in the bathroom watching
Oh
people.
wow.
Kind of awkward going to the bathroom and seeing an attendant there. And there was nobody else there, so I asked them. They said basically that they're there to watch and make sure nobody steals the paper towels and toilet paper.
That's how bad it is over
That's
here.
how bad it is here.
It's
They're
bad.
actually having to post somebody in the
That's
bathrooms to
sad.
make sure
That-
nobody
that is
steals the
sad.
toilet paper and paper towels.
My son has a shirt that says "I survived the great 2020 toilet paper."
And the thing is, soap, you can get all the soap you want, and that's more important than the toilet paper.
or the hand sanitizer, because
Sanitizers.
no,
coming
there's
back.
a study
We're
about the
starting to
hand
find some.
sanitizer. The hand sanitizer doesn't work as good as soap, hot soap and water. They've already done
Oh,
studies on that.
They've already established that
A
long time ago, but
yeah.
people are still raiding the sanitizer.
Yeah, well, because it's easier. You just like that. Luckily, we have hand sanitizer, don't we? We have lots of sanitizer.
Those
And
of
we
y'all
were
that have
joking
been,
about it. We were
for
joking
those
about
of y'all
how
that have been watching us for a while, we got the homeless unit that we picked up in November. We went
Yeah.
through it in December.
and we were laughing about
homeless
how much
treasures
hand
unit.
sanitizer we were finding.
That unit, we found probably a couple of hundred the little 1 ounce bottles. We found a couple of the big refill bottles
Yeah,
of hand sanitizer. They didn't use soap; they used hand sanitizer, evidently.
yeah. Well, we found some
we
soap
found
too,
tons of
but-
soap, but none of it was open. Some of the hand sanitizer was actually used.
Yeah.
But we found hundreds. I mean, probably at least 100, 200 bottles of little bottles of hand sanitizer. I've got it all in my storage, and that's one of the things that I'm working on in my storage is trying to get to all that stuff. I know where some of it is.
Yeah,
I
you
just
should
gotta
have seen us,
dig
Lisa.
down to it.
It was awesome. It was awesome. We were like, wow, this is a lot of hand sanitizer. Not realizing that months later we were going to need it ourselves.
Yeah, and I
'cause
had
you
people
can't-
asking if I had any for sale. I can't get to it. I'm trying to get. That's why I'm trying to get back in my storage. I'm trying to
Yeah, he
dig
has-
down to get to it.
What was it?
And
Like 3
I
or
might
4
put
boxes
I
full
might
of
put
some-
some in some of my auctions if I
Yeah,
can.
I think he
get
has like
to
3
it.
or 4 boxes full of them.
I mean, I've
He's got a
got
lot.
I got a lot of soaps and I mean everything: soap, mouthwash, shampoos, all that kind of
He had
stuff.
like almost a whole box full, or what? A can full or a trash can full of them.
I've
like
got-
that.
Let me finish my sentence.
Oh, okay.
I've got bags and bags of it's soap, but I just put all of those kind of bathroom type stuff into bags, and I've got probably 20, 30 bags of it, but it's not all sorted out. I know there's hand sanitizer, there's soap, there's all that stuff, toothpaste, toothbrushes that are individually wrapped. If they weren't individually wrapped in plastic, I threw them out.
Marie
'cause
saying
I
we
can't
can't sell it
trust
now
that they're used.
anyways. That's on Amazon.
I can't
and
sell
eBay.
it on Amazon and eBay.
Who
But
says
if
you
I'm
can't
doing
sell
a
it?
YouTube auction, I can sell it. If I'm see somebody out and about, I can sell it. I just can't sell it on Amazon and eBay, and I can't price gouge on it.
Right. So, and we wouldn't want to price gouge anyways.
That's
Um,
what the whole problem was on eBay and Amazon was people price gouging
Yeah.
because they were selling an 8-pack of toilet paper for $250.
Yeah. That's
And then they're
ridiculous.
complaining because their eBay store got shut down. I know because I've seen some of these complaints about people complaining that eBay shut their store down when they said there was no restrictions on these items. I don't understand why. It's not my fault that I put it on auction. Well,
Well,
what did you
actually-
think was going to happen?
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy.
it's not my fault people bid that
I
high.
would never pay $200 something for toilet paper.
I don't know
I'll
why
just
people
go
were
find
bidding
something
that
else.
much on toilet paper.
Hi,
Hey, John
John.
and Kim.
Kim. Yeah.
I don't know why people would
Wet
bid
wipes.
$250 on.
That's why we can't find wet wipes either.
We've got wet wipes.
Oh, I know. I was smart enough to
We-
call our DME.
See, one of the great things is with our daughter being disabled, we have a medical company that we get medical supplies. We can get diapers through them. We can get wipes through them. So we're good on that kind of stuff. We haven't had a problem finding that stuff in the stores yet, but we've got a good stock of it that we order through the DME just in case we need it.
Yeah, and that was one of the first things I called about whenever everything happened and went down. So, wanted to see if we could get it.
Dawn. Oh, I think
It's
it was supposed to
John.
be John, not Dawn.
Autocorrect. Yeah, see, John is saying the same thing, and Kim.
I think it's Kimbo. She usually it's
Kim?
Kim.
Kim,
Usually
are
it's
you
Kim
on?
on Crocker's Lockers. Usually if John's on, he's on John Crocker's.
Oh, I love Kim. She's so sweet. I miss her. I want to see you.
Sorry,
again,
little
Kim.
redhead.
We liked you. I love. I love.
Yeah,
when
we
she
miss
was-
y'all. Well, y'all were
Yeah.
on Grimes's. We're hoping to get back up there. We had planned another trip 3
Oh,
times.
Yeah. There's a
3 times
four.
since we went up there in December. We have 3 trips to Dallas that we've had to cancel because Emily got sick. Then Jessica went to the hospital. Then this coronavirus thing broke out. We've canceled 3 trips to get back up there since all this, since we
Well,
were up there
they
in
canceled
December
the one
or
in April.
November.
But,
Yeah, we
so
had
we
one. We were scheduled to go up there in
Yeah.
January. Then,
I
well,
went
we
into the
were
hospital.
going. We were supposed to go up there around Christmas, just after Christmas, and then Emily got sick and Jessica got sick right at Christmas, so we had to cancel. Then we were supposed to go at the end of January. Then Jessica went in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Then we were supposed to go again in April.
They called and canceled.
And then they canceled it because of the coronavirus breakout.
So now supposedly we're supposed to go back in June, around June 7th or 8th or something like that. So,
and it's getting desperate because we're spending a lot of money on medications to keep her pain management under control, because part of the reason we're trying to get up there is they're supposed to be doing hip surgery on her, and we've got to get in to see the doctor to see if he's ready to schedule her surgery. She's in a lot of pain every day because she has hip dysplasia. She has one of her hips that is out of, one of her leg bones is out of the hip socket.
Yeah, and we were talking
and they
about
have to get it put back
done.
into place, and it's extremely painful for her to not have that hip where it belongs.
Yeah.
And there's also a lot of growth issues if it stays out too long.
Yeah,
but they have to surgically go in
Scottish
and fix
Rite,
it.
Kim.
It's at the Hospital. Scottish Rite Hospital. That's why Justin does a lot of stuff to support the Scottish Rite Hospital, and that's one of the things that I have been behind him all the time, because a lot of, when we go up there, all of her doctors in Dallas that we see are at the Scottish Rite Hospital.
Oh, Denise, I'm sorry to see you go. If we're still on, come and catch us, okay?
All right, Denise, thanks for coming by.
Oh, thanks, Lisa. I mean, she's a pretty headstrong little girl.
Hey, Glenn.
She's a sweetie.
I didn't see him come in. Glenn. Swamp Picker.
Oh, Glenn. Hi, Glenn.
But yeah, I mean, it's, y'all gotta realize, okay, we've lived with her disability for 7 years, so
yeah,
it's not, it's just a way of life for us.
It's kind of, the only thing that's hard is that you just never know. It's like waiting for the next shoe to drop.
Yeah, we just thing. She has a lot of challenges because of her disabilities. She's got a lot of medical issues that go on. She's nonverbal. She can't tell us when she's in pain. All we can tell that she's in pain is because she's crying.
Mm-hmm.
And
then you ask her if she needs medicines, and she'll tell you, yeah.
It takes some trial and error, and we've had to learn how to communicate with her, and she's had to develop her own ways of communicating, so that we can kind of work through and figure out what's going on. Mm-hmm. And it took a lot of trial and error to figure out that it was her hips that were bothering her. It took us like weeks of trial and error to figure out that it was her hips that were causing the pain in the first place.
Yeah.
The other side is when she gets sick or when she has other things wrong, she's under so much pain meds to keep her hips under control that we're probably masking symptoms of other problems and not even seeing them. So that's one of the downsides to keeping her on pain meds all the time for her hips. You mean like
that UTI that she had recently?
Yeah, she had a UTI. It was probably going on for at least a day or two before we caught it, because we were giving her pain meds so she wasn't feeling it.
Well, I thought it might have been like an ear infection, because I was seeing so much drainage coming out of her ears.
It's supper time. All right, Douglas, enjoy your dinner. I'm going to be doing my supper time. I'm going to be having supper after our live. Everybody else already ate.
Yeah, we're having chicken fried steak. Oh, I had chicken fried steak. Yeah, you didn't.
She and the kids had chicken fried steak. I'm probably going to have chicken fried steak, or I may go make myself something else.
Chicken fried steak sandwich.
So, but we've had, it's really not a big deal. It's just when we go to see her specialist, you got to realize she's 7 years old. She has 12 specialists that she sees, and most of them she's seen since birth, or shortly after. And so, and some of them are just kind of follow-ups now, and just kind of there for preventative maintenance and make sure she's doing okay. Like, she has a cardiologist, but she's not really having any heart problems. So, but they just check up on her and make sure she doesn't start having heart problems. She has a cleft palate doctor because she was born with a cleft palate. Well, we fixed the cleft palate last year, but we still see the doctor to follow up and make sure that she's progressing and developing, and that, the cleft did not reopen up.
Ooh, tacos sound good, Kim.
Ooh,
So do
tacos.
the taters and eggs,
It depends.
Justin.
They did not come from Taco Bell, did they? Are they real tacos?
Ooh, goulash. We were just talking about Douglas. We were just talking about goulash the other day. I asked James, James, do you know how to make goulash? Oh, it's been years, he said.
I got coffee.
Years.
I have coffee. We do have some iced tea. It came with this chicken
Hey,
fried
I like
steaks.
spaghetti too.
But
I
I'm
didn't
a
have no
coffee
coffee.
drinker, so
I had
spaghetti.
tea.
Yeah, we got spaghetti. We are having to cut back on the pastas though. We used to eat a lot of pasta, spaghetti and
Thanks
stuff,
to me.
but because of Jessica's diabetes, we can't eat that much pasta anymore. Because it's not good
And
for
I kind
her.
of tried to stay away from corn too. So I'll still eat it, but
You made them. Okay. Yay! Make your own tacos.
That sounds good.
Yeah, don't go to Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's Marie. That's James. If he drinks coffee, he has a hard time going to sleep. I think lately he's been going to sleep about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, waking up at 7.
No, well, okay.
Last night it was 2.
But I have always, from the time I was little, been a night owl. I mean, I've always been a night owl. I do bet I'm not a morning person at all. I hate morning.
He's horrible.
But I
He's
will
a grumpy
stay
old
up.
bear.
I will stay up, no problem, till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And there's some days, sometimes I'm doing like, I play some video games like Final Fantasy 14.
What a nerd.
And I play that sometimes. And a
My
lot of
nerd.
times there's a lot of stuff I can't do because I'm in and out so much. I can't do a lot of stuff on there while everybody's up. Because otherwise I'm constantly having to go in. But then there's a lot of nights where I'm in here working after everybody else has gone to bed, because I can get more work done in like 2 hours after everybody's gone to bed than I can in the whole day when everybody's up, because I'm constantly being interrupted.
By me. By me.
I can't go. Sometimes I can't go. I get out here. I get into the middle of something. I was doing a video today. I swear it took me 3 hours to edit a 10-minute video because every 5 minutes, James, come grab Jesse. Come do this. And I'm like, I can't get my work done if I'm constantly being interrupted.
Well, usually it was me asking you a question.
And it probably would have taken me like an hour to edit it. It probably would have taken me like an hour to edit that video if I wasn't constantly interrupted. But then I got to go back. And then I had one point where I'm in, kind of a difficult part of the edit too. And, you need to take Jesse for a little while. Well, what am I supposed to do with him? I put him in my lap and he's trying to bang on the keyboard and stuff because if I'm typing something, if I touch the keyboard, he has to touch the keyboard. If I touch my phone, he has to play with my phone.
Oh yeah, he's
and so I'm trying to edit and he's trying to grab stuff and
he's so cute. I'm sorry, I'm in love.
I love my son, but
he's so cheesy.
It's hard for me to get work done with him in my lap.
Yeah, he's getting to where he's starting to. He hasn't figured it out yet, but he got the ottoman the other day, and he moved it to stand on top of it to reach some stuff off of the shelf. Yeah. And I told him, you need to watch this because pretty soon he's going to try to figure out how to get across the
move
gate.
Stuff so that he can use it as a stand, and we have child gates up around the house.
Yeah, pretty soon
so he's
using that.
Kind of stuck in, but get him his own keyboard. Yeah. Well, we
got him his own remote. We got him his own
remote control for the TV.
Taking ours.
And it's a real remote control. It was one out of one of my storage auction lots, and it was one that didn't work. So when I tested it, it didn't work. So it was off in a pile to go in the trash.
He loves it, doesn't he?
And so we just cleaned it, sanitized it, took the batteries out of it, and gave it to him. And now he plays with his remote control while we're watching TV instead of grabbing. Ours. So now we can kind of distract him. So if he starts grabbing for the real remote, we grab his and hand it to him, and he's fine.
So what are we doing with this pandemic going on, living with the disabled lifestyle? We're just being very cautious and staying.
Our biggest thing, we're staying home. We're not doing a whole lot.
We're not going in like pairs. I think there was only one time when we had to go, Walmart last week? Was it last week or the week before last that we all ended up going to Walmart?
That was last week.
That was last week.
Early last week when we bombed the house.
Yeah, when we bombed the house, we all had to get out of the house.
Because we had to, when we bombed the house, we had to leave for 4 hours before we could come back in.
Yeah, but by the time we went to the store, came back, and 2 of those hours were already. So it was, And it was actually kind of nice, but at the same time, there was a lot of social distancing going on.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, really. The store was not super crowded. The people were
Target,
all,
I was surprised about
everybody was
Target. Target
respectful
was
of each
really
other.
was better than being in HEB and Walmart, to be honest with you. I really felt safe in Target. I felt like I
But
didn't even
we're
have to wear a
also,
mask.
we're staying home. We're staying away from people.
Trying to do curbside. We're
We're doing
trying.
curbside pickup. I mean, I went to the storage unit for the first time in like 3 weeks today.
Yeah, but there's no
Um,
chances of you getting corona at the storage unit.
there were other people there while I was there.
Oh, well, but how far
I
away
mean,
are they?
well, the ones that I saw were, the next building over, a few doors down. But what if the one that's right next door to me, or I've got two units that are separated by another unit? What if the person that owns that one that's in between my two units shows up? We're within 6 feet of each other.
Well, you really work very fast and get out of
But
there very
what
fast. I
I'm
don't know.
saying is, I was there, but luckily, but that's the first time I've been over there even in like 3 weeks.
And now we have 2 confirmed cases here in.
Yeah, we only have
We've
two
got
confirmed
6. No, we've
cases
got 6 in Caldwell, but 2 in Lockhart.
within our city
And one's a 41-year-old, and the other one's a 25
that we know about.
that we know about. Yeah, that we know about. The other 2 are from Luling, and then one's from Dell.
Oh, T's on with an auction. Their slippers on live.
Right. That
Pusa's
doesn't
on
mean
live.
people haven't touched stuff. But he's already bombed stuff, so the bombs probably killed the virus off Marie.
So
Yeah, you are. I heard, Lisa, that they're having a shortage on daycare workers because we've got a lot of essential workers out there that are
see, all of my
still
daycares
working.
are
Packed
closed.
to capacity. No, they're not. Not all of them.
Well, some
The
of them
ones
have
here in
closed.
Lockhart are.
Yeah, they're
The ones here in
packed.
Lockhart are. I
The
think.
ones that are still open are packed to capacity, but they're limiting them to only essential workers. So you have to kind of prove that you're an essential worker for them to take your kid.
Yeah. I think. Is that how it's going with y'all, Lisa? Is that, or are y'all still just taking everybody?
You can't take new kids. Well, that makes sense. But they're not even if they're established families, they're not taking them right now unless they are essential workers and their families are essential workers and they have to drop their kid off.
So see, she's saying no. Okay, so it's not like that with them.
Hmm.
Over here, they're, I don't know.
I guess it's because we have so few of them and they're so packed.
Well, and Texas is a big, big state, so they're expecting that the next.
Well, she's in Florida. Florida's almost as big as Texas.
Oh yeah, I guess she would, but they're expecting the next wave.
Yeah,
I
have 14. See,
yeah, I figured that's what they were going to be doing. Was they were going to limit how many kids y'all could have, or even see. So
the question is, do you take them treasure hunting? Are they your free labor?
Treasure hunting for what?
Storage units, dumpster diving, whatever.
You know, people probably aren't going dumpster diving anymore, right?
No, I mean, take the
they?
kids. If she's a daycare worker, take the
kids to do all the work.
Hey, we got free labor here. They can sort and stack and move these boxes.
She wishes she can't do that. Free labor.
I know. I'm teasing.
Aren't there child labor laws on that?
Yes, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say.
I'm kidding. God, don't take me seriously,
child
people.
Labor laws going on over here.
People don't get my humor sometimes.
It kind of falls flat. I do admit that it does fall flat sometimes. Sometimes I think it's very funny though.
I think it's a great source of free labor. If the parents sign a waiver. Yeah, they're still dumpster diving around here.
They are?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And I've been seeing the dumpster dive videos. They've been out and about.
Yeah, the only thing that I think is going to kind of change is the garage selling and the estate sales. I really have. It's just a feeling I have. Just watch. And I'm pretty head on sometimes on these type of, sometimes. We'll see.
Like 1 out of 100.
I think it will take a while, but I think there's going to be more of online stuff going on more than.
Yes, there will be. I think this is going to make more people more cautious. I think there will definitely be more business done online after this than previously. But to say that nobody is going to go garage sailing, you realize
I didn't say that. I said
most of the people that are here are chomping at the bit to go garage
Well,
sailing
I'm
because
one
they're
of them.
reselling.
I'm one of them, but I'm just saying
But
I
I'm
don't
saying
think it's going to be. I
a
think
lot of
garage
the
sales are going to
people
go
that
a lot.
there's too many people that go garage sailing that want that in
Well,
person
you know,
interaction for it
there
to
is virtual
totally
garage
go
sales
away.
now. There's virtual auctions now. There's virtual
Well,
estate
right, and
auctions.
there's a lot of auctions going on.
Oh, you are
We run some
so
around.
lucky, Lisa. We're not allowed to have any yard sales.
See, we're not having any yard sales. They
Mm-mm.
shut us down. We are on a lockdown right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they have
With
shut
just
down
one.
anything that's
As soon as they had
unessential.
one, that was it. They
Well,
said
part
no.
of it's because there's so many cases in Austin. There's so many cases in San Antonio. It's
Mm-hmm.
spreading in Hayes County, which is San Marcos and Kyle and Buda and New Braunfels. All this area is getting infected. So our county said, we're taking a preemptive strike. We are locking this county down before it gets inundated.
As soon as they got one, that was
as
it.
soon as we had the first case, they put us on a lockdown.
Yeah.
And they closed all the schools. They closed all non-essential
and Austin's
businesses.
not even reopening
And
up. They're
like,
not coming back to school.
in some areas, they're letting the businesses decide if they're essential or not. Not here. They're telling you you're essential, you're not.
Yeah.
They will shut your business down if they do not decide to determine that
are
you
considered an essential business.
Pretty much grocery stores
Or
are
food.
essential, pharmacies are essential, medical are essential, but pretty much anybody else, they're not essential.
Michael's is considered essential, I guess, because of the face masks. They have a lot of people that are making those face masks.
Right. They've canceled our school for the rest of the year. They're giving out internet access and giving out tablets and everything to all the kids.
They're even buying their own towers. So in the future, every kid in Lockhart will have internet access. So
yeah, see, ours originally was until the 8th, but I think they're extending that.
It was till the 4th or 6th, the 6th, and the
6th was yesterday. It's already been extended.
Yep.
So, well, see, they tried to see. This is a thing in Texas about 15 years ago.
They tried to
do year-round schooling.
Didn't work.
Failed in the state vote. So after that, the next year they started adding more vacations and lengthening the school year and shortening their summer vacation. So basically, they've got us almost a year-round schooling here, even though the bill to go to year-round schooling failed in the state vote because they added so many holidays. They started adding in extra breaks, extra holidays, all this stuff, lengthening their times off on holidays. So all of a sudden they went from, if a fly spits on the wall just right, they're going to call it a holiday and take the week off. But the people of this state said, we don't want year-round schooling. So the state started going, and all the school districts started just making it a very slow progression where now, about 15 years later, we're almost to year-round schooling, even though legally we don't have year-round schooling here in Texas.
I heard too, Marie, May 4th, but if you we usually get out of school here by June. Around June.
We've already been told by some of the teachers and some of the people in the school system that they're not going back to school.
What they're doing is all the kids now are online, or they've got packets. They were ordered to pick up packets, or they were distributing Chromebooks. So they're not going back to school.
They're not going back to school.
I believe some people are saying, hey, that if you were passing, then you're passing to the next grade. Anybody who wasn't passing will have to redo the grade, I think is what has been said around here. They were talking about for the graduation, maybe doing a parade around the town and having them parade around the town for graduation.
Yeah, we're on lockdown indefinitely. Honestly, when they tell us we're no longer on a lockdown, that's when we're not on a lockdown.
Yeah.
And that's part of why I'm staying home and I'm not going out and doing a whole lot. Luckily, we already had storage units and we've got stuff in our personal storage. So, and right now I'm still working mainly through my trailer. Once I get my trailer somewhat emptied out, I can go back over to my storage though. I got access back over there. So I can go over to my storage and load up some more stuff.
I was finding James had brought in that, what was it? It's like this little box made out of plastic. And I asked him, "Have you gone through this?" And he's like, "Yes, I've gone through it." And I said, "Well, it's packed full. I'm going to go through it again." So yesterday I was going through it looking to see what all was in there. And I found some beads. I found some more, a little bit of more jewelry.
Yeah, just like a couple of little pieces, and most of it was broken.
No, the earrings were not broken.
Some of them were.
No, what I showed you were not broken earrings. They were in a little pouch. They looked like little stickers. They were actually
Yeah.
pretty cute.
But I don't
those were
have
not
enough to
broken.
do an auction lot with it. I
Yeah.
mean, I've got it set aside to go in an auction
Now
lot,
what he's
but
talking
I don't
about
have enough to go in an auction
broken.
lot.
There was a beautiful necklace that had a dream weaver that was broken. The clasp right here was broken. It was beautiful though.
90. Some of that stuff that you gave me was broken. That pair of.
Yeah, but you've got crafters that can do stuff with it. So I figured here.
Well, yeah, but I don't have enough to do a crafting lot.
Well, I
with.
didn't think you did. I'm just saying there were some.
That's why it was
I
still
found
sitting there.
buttons. Some of them were the old time buttons. I know sometimes people are looking for buttons. We could have been doing some sock puppets over here. No, one day we should do sock puppets, but then you're taking.
You haven't been watching Robin's channel, have you?
Are you talking about the Argyle socks? I know she's named Argyle something.
Yeah, she got.
But did she make? Did she make sock puppets?
You have to go watch her channel. Yes, she has.
No, I have not.
That is
I have
not blowing up on YouTube. If you
No,
haven't seen
not.
Because She Shed, go check her channel out. She's got a sock puppet on there now. Argyle Sock is taking over on other people's channels.
That's funny.
He's been going to T and Donna's auctions and all over the place.
Well, I was just thinking about that. I haven't even seen her, so I bet you it's kind of funny.
Yeah, she was on live. I was watching.
I just know that you told me
we left her live, went to Grimes Finds, and then I left Grimes Finds and came here.
Okay, well,
I mean, I've been on
Where
YouTube.
Is Robin? I haven't seen Robin. She hasn't even made it on here yet.
She hasn't been in here.
Well, that's fine.
She's not watching my channel.
Fine, Robin.
I'm not.
If you get to watch this channel next time, I want to see you on here next Tuesday, okay? And I want to see that sock. You got to bring the sock in too.
Bring Argyle.
Bring Argyle with you. Darn, and I was looking at the mermaid. Hey, I found
a mermaid. I even invited
her.
I sent her a message on Facebook and said I invited her to come because I told her I would answer some of her questions that she was asking on her live about YouTube, because I actually know the answers to a lot of the questions she was asking, and I couldn't type while I was driving down the road to answer them for her.
Answers questions already.
But no, because you
never know.
She can do whatever she wants.
Yeah.
I told her I could answer her questions if she wanted.
Are there any questions that y'all have, guys? Do y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask us? I know that like we said, the way that we're handling it is we're just trying to keep everybody out. I told James we're not having anybody out. He doesn't care if I die. He said.
I'm not worried. I didn't say I don't care if you die. I said I'm not as worried about us getting sick as I am about
That's
Emily.
What he definitely said.
She's the one that's the highest.
He said out of everybody, he cares about Emily more than anybody. He's not.
I didn't say I don't care about more. You are twisting my words. I did not say that. I said that I am more concerned about her catching the virus than anybody else in the house, because we have a greater chance of recovery than she does.
That's true. That is
because
true.
What would make us really sick and might cause us some difficulties.
Yeah, she just
would put her in the ICU. If she caught this COVID, we would pretty much she would be in the ICU.
Yeah,
and we would be lucky if she made it out.
I mean, heck, she caught the flu type A last year.
And she caught the flu last year, and she was in the ICU.
That was horrible. I'm talking 3 or 4 nights of me staying up. We were taking shifts.
We were in the hospital for a week and a half.
You would have thought she had COVID.
And it was just the flu.
It was just the flu. And I was literally we were literally doing the towel, putting it on her. That fever did not want to go down. And you're talking 3 or 4 days of a straight fever.
Oh, and when she gets sick, you got to realize, when Emily usually is in the hospital, what happens?
What kind of backup plan are you talking about, Marie?
Do we have a backup plan?
What kind
you
of
would have to elaborate. I have multiple backup plans for different situations. It just depends on what
Are you talking
circumstance
about
you're
for
talking about. You're talking
Emily
about for Emily. I mean, we've
hospital?
already got a hospital plan in place.
Who's going to
I've got a
take the
business
kids if
plan in
someone gets? We do
place.
have a backup plan for like if someone gets sick. So
Well, see, here's the thing, and this is something we haven't really discussed. If Emily were to go back in the hospital, only one of us is allowed to be in there.
yeah,
Yes, if one of us gets sick, we've already figured out our plans on if one of us gets sick, they go into quarantine, and the other one has to. Basically, I would disappear from everything again, because I would have to be taking care of the kids full time if she was sick, and if I'm sick, I'm going to be in quarantine, um, keeping us away from the other kids and the rest of the people in the house.
I would probably be the one that would be the one to go in.
If Emily gets sick,
Honestly,
but here's my point. Okay, what usually happens? Realistically, what
this is what
happens when
happens.
Emily's in the hospital? You're sit there in the room with her all day, every day,
Yeah,
and I'm running around doing the errands, getting you
he
food,
is.
taking care of
So
everything.
basically, nothing's really changing. Really.
Yeah, because I won't be allowed in the hospital to
Yeah,
run
he just
errands
won't
for
be
you.
allowed to run errands. He won't be able to I guess
I
we'll
won't be able
all
to
be
get you
me and
food.
Emily. Yeah, he won't be able to get me
I
food.
will not be
He'd
able
be
to get
bringing
you
it to
food. I
me.
will not be able to get you your medicine. I will not be able to take care of all the stuff that you need while you take care of Emily,
No, but that's
because
where
I will
you would have to
not
probably
be
drop it off at
allowed
the
at the
nursing
hospital.
station. You'd probably have to drop it off at the nursing station or something like that. But
I won't even be allowed in the door.
if we get sick, I'm probably the one that's going to be down with her because she will not let James touch her.
Yeah, when she gets sick,
Yeah.
she would have to go, because when Emily gets sick, she will not let anybody near her but Mama.
Mm-hmm. So it's kind of
And
like
she
I'm in the
won't let
hospital too.
Mama more than about 2 feet away without
Oh
screaming her
yeah,
head
I
off.
can't even use a restroom.
She gets up to go to the bathroom and she screams her head off the whole time.
Yeah, I can't even use the restroom. It's like I'm in the hospital too. Luckily the last time, when was the last time? The last time was, what was she in there for?
When she got sick and got dehydrated.
After I came out in February? What did she go in there?
Yes.
She got dehydrated. That's
She
right.
got
She got
dehydrated. They
dehydrated.
had to put her on IV fluids for a few days and pump her back up.
Right.
But part of that's hospital stays are kind of a normal thing for us. So always,
Yes,
Lisa, we
we
always
do.
have a bag packed. Always.
And we don't just have our bags packed. We have an emergency food stash.
We have a bag of mostly, non-perishable food that's always packed and ready to
and
go.
ready to go.
We
for
have
that
a
with
bag of
us.
Emily stuff that's ready to go. We have a bag of our stuff that's ready to go at a
And a
moment's
bag
notice.
of food.
That's one of the things. In fact, if you look at our prosperous caregivers, one of the things that we have on that channel is our emergency planning kit.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that we have in our emergency plans, and we've had that for years because we've had hospital stays that were
Not just with
unexpected,
Emily.
and were totally caught off guard, and
Not
we
just
weren't
with Emily,
prepared.
before my mom passed away.
Um,
We got, and one of the essential emergency things that we pack in that backpack. Do you want to let them know what we pack in that backpack?
Well, one of the
Kind
things that we have in
helpful.
our hospital emergency kit is a crock pot, a
Mhm.
mini crock pot. So I've got dried beans and stuff like that in my food stash because we can cook in
Right.
that room and never have to leave the room.
Yeah. So we do a lot of our stuff in there, crock pot and stuff. I'm gonna step away for a second. I'll be right back. So you get to keep them.
Well,
company.
we're actually almost done because it's 8:28. We've been on for almost an hour.
Well, they might still have questions.
So, but yeah, we have an emergency plan. We have a whole kit. It's got medical supplies because we were thinking about emergencies, but at first it was just like a hospital bag. But then we started thinking about, okay, what if it's not a hospital emergency? What if there's a natural disaster? Because all this happened also right around the same time as Hurricane Harvey, which didn't hit us, but it got really, really close to us. We kind of caught the leading edge of it. So at the same time we were working out this emergency plan, we were facing possible evacuations and all this stuff. So we said, well, what if a natural disaster happens and we have to evacuate? So when we made our emergency plan, we included medical supplies for several days worth of medical needs, personal stuff. I have cash in that bag so that if I can't get to the bank or if I can't access electronic banking, I've got money. I'm not going to say how much cash, but I have cash that is in that bag, it's sealed in an envelope. I check that bag to make sure that that envelope is still there and still sealed. Um, if we ever have to break into that envelope and use it, that's one of the first things that we do as soon as we're done is replace anything that was used out of that and reseal it. Um, that's one of our part of our emergency fund is in that bag, ready to go at a moment's notice. Um, that's one of the things with prosperous caregivers and with the special needs families that we work with. I do a lot of financial planning as well as emergency planning and how to deal with these kind of situations. And um, so we're pretty well set up for handling a crisis. So because we've had so many of them, and we've had some medical crises that turned into financial crises because we didn't have these plans in place. And then we had to go out and spend money. We have food because we had one hospital stay. We were in a hospital for a week and a half, and we spent, at the time, we were broke. We had no money. We were in debt. This was before we started Dave Ramsey's plan. In fact, it was one of the events that led to us getting on Dave Ramsey's plan. But we wound up with a week and a half stay in the hospital, and it cost us almost $600 just for me and Jessica to eat because we were eating out in the cafeteria at the hospital 3 meals a day. She's diabetic. She has to eat on a regular schedule. Not only that, but some of the healthier food that's better for her because of her diabetes is also some of the more expensive food. We wound up spending over $600 in a week and a half, and it was $600 we didn't have to spend. Um, and that was one of the things. And then as soon as we got out of the hospital, like we got home from the hospital and our AC wasn't working. So we got an AC guy out, got it looked at, and we needed a new AC unit, $5,000 that we didn't have. And so then they come and go to install the new AC unit. Our electrical panel is not up to code and they can't wire in the new AC system. So we have to get a new electrical box. Luckily, we were still under warranty on the house, and the warranty covered part of the electrical and part of the AC unit, but not all of it. So we started getting into financial planning right after that because it was just one hit after another, and all these things hit all at one time. We had to get ourselves financially and emergency preparedness back online. So we spent a lot of time and did a lot of research. We put together our emergency kits. We started getting ourselves on a budget. We started getting ourselves out of debt and started building emergency funds for these situations.
And also, what else did I do? As I would learn things, we would compile numbers on where to help people.
Yeah. But you know what? If we hadn't been through that, we wouldn't be able to help other people through that.
Yes.
And that's what
and
we
still
do.
Today,
that's what we're doing.
Nurses come to me and ask me questions like, "Hey, I think the other day they were like asking me about diapers," and I was like, "Well, you have to be voted as incontinence and something else." And then
how do you get your child diapers through the DMEs? But it's because Emily is declared incontinent through doctor records that says that she can get diapers through her medical supplier
and wet wipes, but they only do 2.
Yeah, they only do 2, but then we can buy more than that. That's all the insurance will pay for. That's the other thing is there's a difference between what they can supply us and what insurance will pay for. She's on Medicaid, so Medicaid limits what she can get on some stuff. But we can order this stuff and pay it out of our pocket. And that's what we did with wipes. When all this stuff started with COVID and we started seeing the toilet paper shortages and all that, we went to the medical supplier and said, we want a case of wipes. They sent us a case. We paid for it out of pocket.
Yep, we sure did. And
now we got plenty of wipes.
Of that because I was like, okay, we run out of toilet paper. We know where we're going. Wipes. Okay, is he awake?
Okay, we're almost done.
So there was just, and she asked me something else that she didn't know recently too. I can't remember what it was, and this was just Saturday. I wish.
Well, they also asked us about financial stuff because on top of being through Dave's plan, I don't talk about it a whole lot because I don't promote that part of what I do here. But on top of being through Dave's plan, which we've been through, we've worked through it, we've gotten ourselves debt free, we're working on our emergency fund. We were actually really good on our emergency fund before Jessica went in the hospital.
Yeah, now
Now it's kind of gone, and now we're in the middle of another crisis that followed right after that. Uh, but as soon as we're done with current crisis mode, we're going to go back into rebuilding our emergency fund. We have so far managed to get through. Luckily, we got our income tax in right before all of this hit with COVID,
and Jessica was smart enough to keep
and we
it.
didn't spend it, which means that's what we're living off of. That plus our reselling is starting to build up a little bit.
Yeah, so while everybody
Um,
was here he is. While everybody
Monkey.
else was spending their income tax, I something told me we needed to save it.
But anyway, on top of being more financially stable now than we've ever been in our lives, I went through Dave's training program, and I am a Dave Ramsey trained financial coach. I'm not a part of his preferred coaching program that he charges a monthly fee for of his coaches, but I have been trained by him and his team to coach people through financial struggles. And that's one of the things that I do with families of special needs and with some of the other stuff that I do. Uh, and, it's one of the things that I do to help other people is, and so our nurses know this. They were with us. Some of our nurses were with us when we went through all that and when we were going through the training and when we were going through the crisis. And some of them are trying to get themselves out of debt. So they're coming to me saying, and me and Jessica, and asking, how do I get rid of this? How do I get out of this debt? How do I, buy a car? And,
Yeah.
so we're coaching them through some of the processes of how to make those kind of decisions. Cause a lot of it's just, decision making and behavior. And learning to buy what you can afford instead of what you can make payments on. I can afford it to us does not mean I can make that monthly payment. It means I can pay cash for it or I don't need it.
Yeah. And we're kind of choosy of what we buy too.
Yeah, we're
So-
choosy. One of the great things about that paired really well with the storage scavenging lifestyle is we've got a lot of really, really great stuff in our house now because we buy storage units.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's some of the best stuff we found in storage units isn't getting sold because it's replacing stuff in our house, and we're selling the crap that we had and keeping the good stuff. Like
some of it, not all of it.
Some of it. Like this last unit we got, they had a set of KitchenAid pots and pans. Really nice set. Yes, they're in really decent shape. So guess what? We kept the KitchenAids and we're getting rid of the crappy ones that we had before.
And there's been other stuff, and some of it ends up for Christmas stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. Half the Christmas presents we gave away this year was stuff out of storage units.
Yeah, unopened.
They were nice stuff. It was nice stuff. It was stuff I would have probably bought for the.
Yeah, like some of the jewelry before it ever hit auction got picked out.
Yeah,
a lot. There were probably like 5 pieces out of the whole lot.
I mean,
picked out. But
once we buy the unit, we own the stuff. We can sell it, or we can keep it.
Yeah, James wouldn't.
And sometimes we keep it.
James wouldn't let me keep.
I wouldn't let her keep everything. So I told her we can't keep every nice thing that we find.
I'd pick 5 pieces for the 5 girls that are in the family or whatever. So that's kind of what I did. And I had people in mind.
It's okay to keep some of the stuff, just not all of it.
I know.
We gotta sell
and guys,
some of it.
You know what? There is more because I was asking him the other day, hey, where's the jewelry that I bought at a garage sale? I had some really nice jewelry.
Yeah, she got a really great deal on some really nice costume jewelry and stuff.
Yes.
Don't know where it's at. It's probably in this pile of mess somewhere.
And I'm talking really, really nice. Really nice jewelry. It was
don't
pretty
go
nice.
Too far. It's pretty nice. It's decent.
There was like maybe 1 or 2 that wasn't decent.
But I'll find it, and it'll probably be going on a lot one of these days. One of the things I have found is I'm much better at. I'm much rather sell stuff to other resellers who want to take the time to list stuff on eBay. I am still listing some stuff on eBay, but the majority of what I'm finding, volume wise, when I'm doing storage units, 90% of the stuff I could say would take me 100 years to list it all. I mean, there's no way I would buy 1 unit a year and spend all year listing it just to get get it all sold. And honestly, there's a lot of it just won't sell for enough to make it worth spending that much time listing it all.
Yeah, so we just do lots.
So I'd rather do the reseller lot, sell it to other people, break it up, and let other people resell it, and then I sort out some of the junky stuff, which is one of the things I'm doing.
Hey, I see
I'm
something
sorting out.
shiny over there. It looks kind of
I'm
nice.
sorting out a lot of the junk, and I've got a big pile of stuff. Most of what's in this room right now is all stuff that's being set aside for yard sale, flea market, something like that.
What are you talking about? What are you trying to get rid of? Where do we get rid of most of it? I know where some of the others get rid of most of it.
Depends on what you've got, Kim.
Yeah. Are
There's
you
a
trying to get
ton
rid
of
of clothes?
stuff that we've still got. I mean, I've still got stuff from my first units that I bought that I still haven't gotten rid of yet. Um, and it's all sitting in my storage right now. Some of it, yeah, these YouTube auctions, I picked it up from Donna. I saw Donna doing them. I started doing them. And right around the same time I started doing them, I started seeing everybody doing them. All of a sudden now Pirates doing them, Rocker Nuts is doing them, Jeremy's doing them. Everybody, I think the only one I haven't seen do a YouTube auction is Grimes because he runs his own auctions. But almost everybody I see, I mean, you see Dolls Dolly doing them. I see a lot of the reseller channels doing auction lots now. So auction lots are doing really, really well. And right now, the resellers can't get out and source. So if you've got product, they're buying it at auction. They may not be paying top dollar, but I told Jessica this the other day. I said, if I make $100 this week, there's a lot of people that ain't gonna make $100. So I may not be making as much as I could if I was to hold it, but at the same time, it's getting it out there, it's getting it to other people, it's helping the resellers get some product that they can list and sell. But at the same time, I'm not out to make it rich off of these. Y'all got to realize when I do my auctions, I'm actually looking at revamping my auctions a little bit. I'm seeing a lot of the other people do it too. And possibly like start doing my auction lots, but doing shipping separately, simply because there's a lot of these lots. Honestly, I'm either losing money or barely breaking even because of the shipping. Yeah, Grimes is talking about doing one. He was talking about it on the chat tonight. He was talking about possibly doing one. He's holding off on collectibles and stuff like that, which I agree with him because the market's down right now. Because some of it's selling, and I've heard some other resellers saying, "Oh yeah, that stuff's still selling really, really well." But then you look at the prices that they're selling for, and it's in the gutters. I mean, they're selling it, but they're selling it for like $20, $30 pieces. They're selling for $5 or $10.
Well, guys,
And
I'm going to say bye to y'all tonight. I've got both of them now awake, so I've got to
so,
go.
that's where one of the things that I was saying earlier, when I'm looking at what I'm selling right now, I'm looking at what do people need versus what do people want. Needs go first. I'm selling needs before wants. One, because it's helping people that really need it right now. But two, they're going to bring you more money than wants because more people are going to be looking for needs than wants. Things like clothes. People still need clothes and they can't go to the stores and buy them right now. Yeah, there's Walmart, and some of the clothes I got
Name brand.
came from Walmart.
Some of it
But
came from Walmart, some of it's name brand. We've got Gap, we've got Guess, we've got all that.
yeah, I've got to get better at my auctions. I'm not great at doing the auctions. My auctions have been much better when I'm on with other people. Like I've been on with T. I've been on with Tiffany from Tiffany's Cool Finds. I've been on with I've been on with several other auctioners. And I've done better on some of the other auctioners because they have bigger followings than I do. And if I got like 5 or 10 people in an auction versus them having 100, of course I'm gonna have better luck on an auction when there's 100 people viewing them than 5 or 10. But I'm still building it up, and I haven't been consistent at doing them all the time, which is because we've been so crazy with everything else. But that's my issue. That's one of the things I'm working on, is getting more consistent on my postings on YouTube. But that's what we are looking at, is doing more of the auctions. So But the auctions are doing really well. Facebook Marketplace is still available. I'm not doing anything on Facebook because we don't want a chance me picking something up and bringing it back to Emily. If you're still comfortable, there's still a lot being sold on Facebook Marketplace right now. Even though people are scared of meeting people, there's a lot of people that are doing it. So then there's still eBay, Macari, Poshmark, all the online platforms. If you know how to list there, if you know how to work those platforms, they're doing really, really well right now. Um, but my first bet, yeah, would be focus on what people need versus what people want, and try to list the wants first, and try to run an auction on your site. Y'all got more follower than I do. I mean, y'all got over 1,000 subscribers, so y'all should be able to get some people in on an auction and sell some stuff. Bulk things up. Stuff that you might couldn't sell for much though, bulk it up into lots and sell it that way. That's what I've done with a lot of stuff. Um, and so, and the way I look at it is, if you're not going to make top dollar on stuff, you got to look at a totally different mindset when you're looking at storage units. You're not trying to get necessarily top dollar for every little thing that you sell. I'm not. I'm trying to, what does it cost me? What am I going to need to make off of this unit, and try to at least recuperate what I spent? And the way I look at it is I'm trying to at least double or triple what I spent on a unit to have a good profit margin. Some of this stuff, if I went for top dollar, I could make 5-10 times what I paid for the unit, but I'm not turning that kind of turnover because I'm not selling it that high. I'm selling it to other resellers mostly. So I hope that answers the question. I think I went off on a tangent there. But anyway, we've been on for an hour and 15 minutes now. So I appreciate everybody showing up and hanging out with us. I'm going to go try to get this one to sleep. He's looking like he's getting a little cranky. And y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next week, and keep an eye out. I'm going to be doing some more recording, so hopefully I'll have some more videos coming out later this week. Y'all have a good night. We'll see you next time.